What's going on, people? How we all doing? Another week is here. What have we got going on? Not a massive amount. There's been a lot of servicing, landlords and checks. I guess it's that time of year, but it has been very busy. Got a couple of bits and pieces to show you. Got installer show week after next, if you're watching this when it comes out. So who's going to that? Let me know. Still on my quest to look for vans. Toyota Pro Ace. I've been looking at that now. Well, I've added that to my list. Last week, I had 2 interactions with people about transits. Both of them relatively new, like less than 5 years old. Both of them currently in the garage because they need new engines. One of them wasn't because of the wet belt, that's already been done. Both of them with a bill of about 10 grand. So then I'm looking at, is a Ranger possible to work out of? Mainly breakdowns and servicing. Obviously, a lot of materials would need to be delivered to site if you've got rads and boilers and whatnot. But do you work out of a pickup truck? Is it possible for service and breakdown? It does look very small, but useful for the space, like the double cab space. Kia PV5, I really like that, but 2-seater. And the actual space in the back doesn't look massive either. I think it's about what I've got. So I've currently got a Vauxhall Combo long wheelbase, so a little bit extra space. I think it's about 2.2 meters like load length. But yeah, what's everyone been up to? Jump in the comments, let me know, and I'll see you in the middle or at the end. So a little bit different today. We have a couple of rads to replace. Going designer rads. Need to install a filter, do a Magna Cleanse flush. And what is the name for a Magna Cleanse flush? We say Magna Cleanse, but that's just the brand of that unit. Obviously others have their own, Fondness, Camco. What is it called? I've then started calling it, again, thanks to Bentley Plums, he come up with this name, a magnetic filtration flush, which I like the sound of. But yeah, that and hive to fit against my will, but you got to do what you got to do. A couple of hive actuators to fit, and yeah, should be here a couple of days. Let's show you the rads. So there's one rad, we're going bigger. That's quite tiny for this size room, and I'll show you the other one. That one there, similar size, but yeah. I think that is going to need the pipe works. I don't know, might not need to do the pipe work for that one. And it might not actually need to lower. I don't know, we'll see. But they're actually going to be kind of this style. So I'll film some bits of it, some bits not. But yeah, first off, let's get this one off the wall and let's make access to the pipes underneath. So with this now, I want to move the pipework under because I ideally want to center the rad to this wall. So the way I do it is I go from the wall where the window is, or you can go from the skirting, but my rad's smaller than the window, so I'm going to go for the window, so that's the center point. Then I find my center point between there, so it's 885 on here. Now I'll find my center point of the rad and then measure outwards from there. Does that make sense? So that came out. Bit of a butcher job, but we're out. Now I can see what we're working with. Don't know what that is. Must be some old pipes from somewhere. But we were connected onto that. So I'll pop this carpet back down, hang the rad, and then see where pipes need to go. That one will have to move as well, that pipe. But we'll figure that out once the rad is on the wall. So I've marked up my center line, and now I've counted 11 in, 11 in. That 12th one either side is the center, and then I mark up the center there. And that's where my radiator is gonna sit. So then I'll see where I want my brackets and line them up with the laser there. So everything's marked up now. I'm gonna do 4 brackets at the top and then pack out the bottom, because otherwise we're gonna have to chop out the skirting, which they don't want. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 evenly spaced. I'm just putting in 1 hole now, make sure everyone's happy with it, then go from there. So don't need to see the drilling, that's super noisy, but yeah. So their brackets are on just with the bottom screws. I'm gonna hang it just to make sure I'm happy with it, and then take it from there. So there we are, that's on, and I'm happy with it. Everything's even. And I'd say that's a good distance from the top. So now let's move on to the pipe work and mess around with that. So update, that side's piped in. Floorboard's back down, it's all tightened up. And doing this bit now, rapid blue, because I'm a fan. And yeah, just gonna pipe from here to there and into there. Then that is done. Now we're moving on to this one, bit of a different style. But I'm hoping that this is the same size. This is a 1200, I've got an 1190. So I'm hoping with a little bit of jiggery pokery, we can make the pipework lean up without having to move it. We shall see. So I went out to the van and forgot to put the camera back on. I was gonna set it up for like a time lapse, but it's only got 1 screw in at the moment. Still, just like to line it up just to make sure. But I also realized I am gonna need to move the pipes more so, because they don't come forward anymore, and this is now a double. Not what I want at 3:30, 4:30. It's not showing me the time properly. 4:30, lovely. To be fair, I didn't get in here till 10:15. So I'll get this on, get this piped up, and I'm back here tomorrow. Flushing, fitting a filter, fitting a hive and whatnot anyway. Yeah. Also got to go far away after this job. Probably about a half hour, 40-minute drive in traffic to a service I went to yesterday that for some reason isn't working. The one you saw on that last video last week, the Ideal Evo Max. Can you see how impressed I am? No hot water for some reason. Yeah, don't know why. That boiler comes out every single time after a service. And it's always something ridiculous, like the settings. So on there, to set them up is really weird. And it's always stuff like that it like resets itself, and I don't know. All I know is I don't think I'm gonna do it next year. But it's a nice radiator. Fill up time. It is now 5:45 and we have a leak. From the push fit, brand new. It's got the double seal inserts in there. It's just unfortunate. Could be worse. At least it's going into the concrete under the floor. Could be worse. It could have been upstairs or something. Let's sort this. So there you go. That's all done. Do you know what? I was actually dreading that job a little bit. It was booked in a couple of weeks prior, and it was all right. It's quite enjoyable. I've got now my own knack to doing designer rads, and I've found a way that works for me. I'm not saying it worked for everyone. I've found a way that works for me. I find that way hard to explain. I have tried to explain it to people before. Basically, yeah, find the center point, then work my way back out to see where I want the brackets. Then I measure. It's better if you're moving the pipes, because then you can just pipe up to where you need to. But then I measure from the top of the rad to the top of the bracket hole thing. I know what I'm talking about. You probably don't know what I'm talking about. And then take it from there. Yeah, that's it. Listen, if you're on Instagram, drop your Instagrams in the comments and let's try to get some follows for everyone. I am at RJ Heating on there, so please come over to Instagram and follow on there too. It's a lot easier to have like a bit more of a conversation on there, but it'd be great to see some of you on there. And yeah, let's all like follow each other and whatnot. But yeah, designer rads, I've got my own way. How do you do yours? Again, drop in the comments how you fit yours. Maybe I'm missing a trick somewhere. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it was quite a fun job and nice to do something different, especially at this time of year. Nice to do something that wasn't a service, wasn't an LGSR, and get a little bit involved. It's just so long. Like at the end, you've got loads of stuff to take out. This is part of the reason I don't like installation work. Just because the amount of stuff you need. I would 100% say that as a trade, plumbing/gas, you need the most tools. Like we do a little bit of everything. We do obviously the plumbing works. We do a little bit of electrics, a little bit of, you know, having to cut up floorboards. And so I guess a little bit of carpentry stuff, move cupboards around, things like that. Little bit of building work, coring a hole. So I think we actually need every single power tool they make on the most part, other than specialist stuff like chop saws and routers and things like that. But yeah, I would say out of all the trades, no other trade incorporates every other trade like gas and plumbing. Yeah, let me know how you do yours. Let me know if you're going to install a show. Let me know your Instagram handles, and like, share, subscribe, comment, all of them hype, and see you next week.